What's up, everybody? It's your boy Gentrified Gumby here with another episode of Point and Laugh, the magic show where I make you a better deck builder and a worse person by means of extreme hating. Today, I've got a Falco spara deck that gets gooey, but before you can think about that too much, we've got a Yawgmoth deck that swears on its copy of Doomsday it is not CEDH. After that, we've got a Kyler deck that is a nostalgic love letter to the good old days of Magic when every card was bad. And finally, we've got a Xavier Sal deck that is a perfect representation of what every Super Friends deck should be. Dog shit. For everybody who subscribes, I will be increasing my editor's water allotment by 1 sip. Thank you all very much. Mango, put this shit in their second monitor. After having tried to make an Ooze Kindred deck with a couple different commanders and themes, when Slimes Against Humanity was spoiled, I knew what I had to do. It's a very one-note deck and honestly kind of silly, but the nature of the card makes it a bit of a spooky deck with how consistent it can be. I believe that. Before we even get into the list, which I'm presuming is going to be a lot of goddamn slimes, more decks need to be subjected to the test of can you deal with somebody spending 3 mana on a creature every turn? Can you hang with that? Can your deck hang with, alright, I play a land, I play a guy, pass? Because legitimately some people can't do that. And I think if every deck had to be able to deal with that, the world would be a better place. So it's Falco Spara, which is we can look at the top card of our library and we can cast from the top by removing a counter, which we talked to somebody about doing a Storm Slimes deck with this last week. I still don't believe Storm will pay off, but I do think the remove a +1/+1 counter from Slimes to cast from the top is decently clever. Draw. Dig Through Time. I think Delve's okay. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of sorceries going to grave. Inspiring Call. Kutzil. Windfall, Greater Good, and then 2 card negative cards. Listen, I am normally one of the most forgiving people in the world when it comes to calling things draw that are not actually draw. This is card negative. This is not even drawing a card. This is aspirations of the next card you're gonna draw. This is I spend a card to feel really good about what I'll get next turn unless Todd the Mill player is in the pod. And by the way, even if you do get it, all you've done is vindicate Todd, who is sleeving up his Mindskinner deck. I'm also not confident you need them if you're playing Slimes Against Humanity, but we'll see. A lot of lands is reasonable. MDFCs, whatever. Fetch lands, sure, whatever. City of Ash, sure, whatever. Greatest Ooze ever printed. Play lands from the top. Coven. Oh, Coven is actually hot here because the slimes all grow differently. What the f, man? Cost reducer, I guess. Remove. Oh, this is real hater shit. I want all of you to know right now. They may have named it spooky. This is like Art the Clown levels of hater shit right here. Baral, Kodama, traumatize. I mean, you're traumatizing yourself for sure. Top and Thrumming Stone under Misk. I just had these motherfuckers laying around. I'm gonna crash. I'm gonna freak out, dude. I mean, I think these are good. Playing lands from the top is good to keep casting from top with Falco Spara. Okay, you're gonna edge. Got it. You're gonna edge, explore, grow, and kill yourself. That is an interesting sequence of events. I like that all your ramp is on 2. I talk a lot about your curve not wanting to get clogged up with your commander. Your commander is 4 mana, but the only thing this deck wants to do is 3. And so if, yeah, turn 2, you play any of this, you're gassing. The only thing I would consider changing is maybe do just the smallest amount of arithmetic and realize that 1 mana ramp helps you way more than 2 mana ramp does, particularly if we want to be playing slimes as quickly as possible. If we want to get to Falco Spara as quickly as possible, different story. And maybe we do want to be playing Spara as quickly as possible, but I feel like you would benefit from at least a few of these being 1 mana options like Llanowar Elves or something, because then it is turn 1, I play my ramp piece. Turn 2, I play my first Slime Against Humanity, or I ramp more. Turn 3, I play Falco Spara. Now, if you just want to do turn 1, I play a land and pretend that this is going to be a nice game of Commander. Turn 2, I ramp. Turn 3, Falco Spara. Turn 4, I Nickelodeon slime everybody. All right. Yeah, who f***ing needs removal, dude? You're the problem. I like that both your board wipes are one-sided. Real hater confirmed. 24 slimes. That's the most reasonable amount of slimes we have seen in a slime deck. Let's play test it and see how it actually pays off. I have a f***ing terrible feeling, you guys. I have a terrible feeling about all this. Okay, so we get to check top. Hey, look at that. Who could have guessed? Oh, we don't have blue for Baral, so we actually do need to dump this. Anyway, this is how we had done it from the beginning, where because I'm good at sequencing my mana, I realized I needed blue and played Salundi Isle turn 1, and then I played a Forest turn 2 to play Baral turn 2 and be able to play my slimes turn 3 because I'm chill like that. What's on top? We do need that land. So slime number 1. I'm not even going to make all the tokens. We're just going to count this how many slimes we've resolved. So turn 4, I think we shocked this in and then bam, he has a shield counter. So now we have top revealed. Oh no, so each of these start with like 3 +1/+1 counters. So we're going to take 1 +1/+1 counter off, pay 2, bam, slime number 2. Now, really, the power and toughness is like, it starts at 3, then goes 4, 5, but these are just how many slimes we've gotten off. Wooded Foothills is on top, which I do not fucking like, so how about I just Windfall? We'll say somebody probably has at least 6 or 7. How about I just Windfall, and I can't. I don't want to, hey, listen, guys, I just really don't want to play this fucking Thrumming Stone. Listen, guys, I can't do it again after the Persistent Petitioners playtest. I can't play another goddamn Thrumming Stone, you guys. We're at 3 counters. You have to, Mauled, play the rock. Fine, I play Thrumming Stone. Everybody takes out a bunch of hammers. I mean, I'm going to cast from hand this one to get a guaranteed ripple trigger. So it's 4 counters. Fuck you. Do we get to cast any? So now we have 2... We'll keep them over here. So we have 2 slimes. We play 1 slime. We have 2 ripple triggers to resolve. 1, 2, 3. I hate you. We have 2 ripple triggers to resolve. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 ripple trigger to resolve. 1, 2, 3. Ha! Vindication. You've built a bad deck, and God has punished you. Where's my Vine Boom? Ha! I say, you suck. Deck is bad. All you have now is a 3-3, a 4-4, a 5-5, a 6-6, a 7-7, an 8-8, a 9-9, a 10-10, an 11-11, and a 12-12 with trample. What the f do you think you're gonna do with that, buddy boy? I mean, listen, overall, I'm not rocking with you as a person. I would look into something that fixes all your pips, whether you play Chromatic Lantern as a rock. Cryptolith Right would probably set this deck off like a motherfucker. You are the op, but you are the op in the sense of you are a tutorial boss. You are an AI-driven challenge for the player characters to compete against, and they are not allowed to graduate to the actual game of Magic the Gathering until they can overcome the big evil bird demon that poops out 1 ooze every 6 seconds on repeat and sees if you can figure out a way around it.
But none of this tomfoolery would be possible without my patrons, so let's wish a warm Yugi's blessings to Christian B, Ryan A, Adam S, aka A-Sauce for those in the know, Oberos the Overlord, Crimson Viper, Kyler Pyler, Derek H, Ilaren, Bradley T, Solar Movie, Score, Biggest Dickus, Zelenor, Ico, Kyle, Phelan, Jess H, Beta Dog 2064. I know that's not your name, but it's a branding issue, my man. I'm sorry. Oath, Boxy in a box, Dad out for milk, Bolus Brigade, Troper 37, Believe, Bo, Zach G, Talamar Von Geist, Beefcake, and Silky Wilkie. Thank you all, and enjoy the video.
Yawgmoth, sack on that thing. So the thing about high power combo is that it is so functionally close to CEDH that it's very difficult to set it apart. Because the ways you need to interact with a high power combo deck, very similar to anything you need to do to interact with a CEDH deck, and the qualities that would make your high power combo deck non-CEDH typically translate to I'm playing CEDH really badly and not I'm playing non-CEDH commander. I would probably recommend this either becomes CEDH or you totally go back to the drawing board. So we have Yawgmoth, who is a 2/4 with protection from humans. You can pay a life and sack a creature to put a 1/1 counter on up to one other target creature and draw a card. So if nothing else, with everything else wrong about you, we at least know that your card draw section's fine, because every creature is a card draw now. We have death triggers, which I think any of these will convert an infinite undying loop into some kind of win. Oh no, but it's extra card draw, extra card draw to get us to the things that actually win us the game. We can sacrifice any of these whenever we want to prevent decking ourselves, so that's very reliable. We have reanimation, and then we have some classic drain effects, scaling up from normal BJ to Dragon Suck. So you need 2 undying creatures, and then you can do the same thing. You sack one, put the -1/-1 counter on the other one, sack that one, and then you can poop back and forth forever. We have a lot of ramp for Yawgmoth. See, you guys, I don't know. I'm not some kind of rocket doctor. I don't know exactly where the line between CEDH, bad CEDH, and high power casual is. But if I were to make a guess, I think it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 fucking tutors. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 1/10 of your deck being a tutor for 1/2 or 1/3 of your infinite combos. And also, Knight's Whisper, guys. Good card. More people play this. This deck has not considered how hard it's farting in the hot tub, is my main concern with it. Because it definitely can't compete at a CEDH table, but it is cosplaying as a CEDH deck at everything that isn't a CEDH table. The Wriggling Grub, right? 1/1 that replaces itself. This is 2 mana, draw 3 cards, get 3 -1/-1 counters on shit. That's clever. That's good. At a CEDH table, no the fuck it's not. Yeah, these -1/-1 payoffs is good. Necro Skitter would even be good for high power if you're trying to steal other people's really good creatures. But this deck really strikes me as parasitic combo. You want to combo off. You don't have really any ways to protect your combo. You have some ways to maybe try again. If we kill Yawgmoth and you don't want Yawgmoth to stay dead, maybe you can blow Reanimator on him. But you don't have ways to protect the combo. You also don't have ways to stop other people from just like comboing in your face. Other than these 4 removal spells, you're very low on non-Yawgmoth based interaction. And when you get into high power, the reason archetypes exist is it is generally the most effective thing to pick your lane and stay there. And right now, we've pulled like 70% of the deck from the combo lane, and then the remaining 30% of the deck doesn't want to take the leap to just fully poop in the hot tub. And so you're farting, but you're running out of gas, and then you're sticking your mouth under to make more bubbling noises, and you're just getting your own fart juice back in your mouth, and now nobody's happy. Most mono black don't have ways to stop opposing combos outside of graveyard hate or creature removal, correct, which is why they often turbo. This deck is missing a number of turbo pieces in service of perpetuating the combo. If we don't want to be an adult, we want to at least be fast, whereas this deck looks like it just sits there, and at some point, like, it is inevitable that this deck will win. I'm not going to debate that because the basis of why it will win is an infinite loop. Yeah, right, we keep this because we have a tutor. Who cares if somebody else tutors something? We tutor Dark Ritual or something. So we get Dark Ritual on top. Go to our next turn. F you, Pawn of Ulamog. You're not Dark Ritual. We play Swamp. I don't want to play Yawgmoth just for him to die. So tap, Dark Ritual, tap. And if that survives, we play Keurig. So we've lost some life, but it's turn 3 now. We have Keurig, so we play Necroskitter and Pawn of Ulamog with 1 land. We play Yawgmoth with the other, and then we just go crazy, go stupid. And then we just do tricks on it till everybody dies. We can get Bitter Blossom out too. Yeah, now we've paid a bunch of life, but Keurig is huge. We have Gary, we have Cryptghast. It's just this like turn, oh, it's turn 4. Yeah, turn 4, absolute fucking deadlock if everybody hasn't pointed every removal spell in the game at you. We have all of the downsides of turbo without the ability to secure the win off of the turbo thing that we've done. That's the most concerning part of this deck to me. We have like an 80% full gas tank. We've tricked out our fucking Honda Civic EX to do donuts in the parking lot, but we haven't put the right tires on it. And so we're just popping tires as soon as anything bad happens and drifting the car into a family of 4 that was walking by to get ice cream. I mean, Amber, if your pod is okay with shit in the hot tub, nothing we say matters. You like what you like, and what I'm advocating for is finding a pod that likes playing against it. My natural reaction is that nobody would like playing against this because I'm not a bastard. But if you know 3 desperately evil people who have been broken by the world around them and has therefore normalized everything that this deck is doing, the deck is hot. You gotta sleep for sure. Mauled, I'm begging you, please stop the hot tub bit. But it's right. I won't stop because I'm right. This hot tub bit is starting to sound like the streamer's barely disguised fetish. Look, guys, God fucking forbid I try to come up with a running joke. Just some lads getting big and buff with magic protein powder found in the back alley dumpster of a Planet Fitness roughly 3 months after New Year's. We have Kyler, Sigardian Emissary, who is a 5-mana 2/2, which is the rate all green cards deserve to be. Whenever another human ETBs under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Kyler. Other humans get +1/+1 for each counter on Kyler. So he is basically C-Bum, and this is, I'm presuming, his Instagram following of humans who all get really, really motivated and jacked because of how jacked Kyler is. I have no idea what in the holy hell this enchantment sub-theme is about. Now, this is definitely the opposite of a counterweight commander. This is a guy we probably need to resolve as quickly as possible, and the deck falls apart as soon as we have Kyler with no counters. Now, we have enough humans to do it, so what I am hoping to see, a good amount of ramp. It's gonna make me mad, but I'm hoping to see some degree of ETB-based card draw or big body-based card draw. I have no clue what enchantments could be relevant here. Whenever a human you control dies, draw a card. Okay, that's relevant. Recursion, draw a card on a human. Okay, that's on theme. Kill this guy. We can take 1 magic card out of this old man's chest cavity, and then it also ramps us. That's reasonable. Sage's Reverie. When Sage's Reverie enters the battlefield, draw a card for each aura you control that's attached to a creature. How many auras do we have? 9! Okay. So D2, my first question to you is going to be, what was the purpose of doing humans and enchantments? Because at any point you can just stick 2 things together and call it a sub-theme. Like, I could go downstairs and go, I'm gonna make lunch and jerk off. Those are 2 things that might please me. They don't have to be done together. So is there a deeper thesis behind I want to do humans and enchantments, or did you just go like, those words sound cool? If it's just words, that's okay. We can work with it. I need to know, as your doctor, as a medical professional, I need you to tell me if you just thought the words were cool, or if there is some like tent pole, this is the interaction I wanted to build it around. This used to be a 60 card deck. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. When it was a 60 card deck, what was the plan? Because there are plenty of good enchantments that Kyler cares about. Laid to Rest is here. I am sure you have Kathar's motherfucking Crusade in this deck. I just don't know if it justifies an enchantment sub-theme unless it is very, very specific. Virtuous Roll. Okay, that's some enchantments. Whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Again, we have 9 auras, so the number of our enchanted creatures in the deck is probably going to be about 1 or 2. Yeah, if you wanted to do human enchantments, your commander is right here. Your commander is right here, and instead you put the cis white man on the throne, and you should think about what you've done. Humans and enchantments, that's it. I used to play against a Rakdos vampire deck with this. Okay, so if it's me when I like words, Kyler should no longer be your commander, and we should rebuild the entire deck around Elevir. Kyler's probably working for you because Kyler is incredibly fucking good, brazenly on steroids. Kyler does not give a single solitary fuck about enchantments, and most of your humans don't give a single solitary fuck about enchantments. But Elevir does. Elevir's here for you. Recruiter of the Guard. Yeah, this makes sense. This enchantment is like... This is honestly, Evolutionary Leap is not that bad in terms of replacing your creatures in a deck that wants to throw a lot of dudes down. Kombucha. Enchanted creature cannot be blocked by big guys. Destroy a non-creature permanent. That's fine. 4 mana, indestructible. This is worse than Mithril Coat, and I believe every sense of the word. I mean, this is like generic Pillow Fort. I'm worried with 21. Like, the dinosaur player is going to laugh, pay the 2 mana, and then kill you. Mother of Runes is good. Like, your humans are all fine. I don't know who hurt you, but humans are all fine. Other permanents have hexproof. I am not as sold on this. Normally, I would say protection, very, very good. This deck is more scared of farewell than a 5-year-old with attachment issues. It gets really bad as soon as you get board wiped, and other permanents you control having hexproof doesn't really do a lot for you. You really just care about, hey, can Kyler not die? Planet Fitness subscription. Yeah, make more humans, so trigger Kyler even more. Make more humans, trigger Kyler even more. More humans for sure, more humans for sure. Protein powder, and then this is just all the humans. And I presume this is more of, okay, the Brainworms won. Death's Presence. This is super clever with Kyler. I think, like, it's definitely in a, you know, stompy battlecruiser power level deck. So what I think we have here is we have like 10 pretty solid enchantments. We have 10 pretty solid enchantments that work really, really well with what Kyler wants to do. And then your brain went, that means sub-theme. That means I have a sub-theme now. I am a sub-theme player. And you just spat in the soup. Hey, look, it's your new commander right here. So I'm going to go to the playtest and see how it runs. This basically has to be a mulligan because our commander's so expensive. This looks a little bit more playable. Hey, look, humans. Good land. We have a human. And this is where the lack of generic ramp is biting you. Like, all of the things that are enchantments that are going into the enchantment sub-theme don't need to become more human cards. Straight up, you just need like some ramp and some cards. We would much rather be casting Rampant Growth than we would a human right now, because playing our humans doesn't matter until Kyler's already down. But I digress. We're gonna gain 1 life. Yeah. We hit somebody for 1. Yeah. Turn 4. We super don't want to make the 1/2 indestructible. Turn 5. We play Kyler. Turn 6. If Kyler does not get shot in the chest immediately, we make him indestructible. We don't really want to play All That Glitters because it won't give Kyler counters. Turn 7. Path of Ancestry, Hydra's Growth. It's now happening. We have a 1/1 counter on Kyler, therefore Perish Blade Trainee gets a little bit bigger. So Kyler's indestructible now. We tapped 3 for this. Ah, we can cast spells with Flash. See, like, your cleverness is being wasted on this deck, because this is a very clever card. I have no idea what in God's name you could be using this for, but whatever you want to be using it for, you have so much more potential than you're utilizing with 4 mana indestructible aura. Because now this turn, Hydra's Growth is going to slowly but surely take over the game for us. But like, god damn, we get Swords to Plowshared once. We've impacted the board basically not at all. And we've also been unable, we've never had interaction to like help deal with anyone else who's being a problem. I think this is for sure where we're at. The bit is nostalgia. And so I am partial to the bit of nostalgia. I think you should honor the old deck you used to play, but you should frame that old deck in like a binder or something, and then we should let Elevir work her fucking angle. Xavier and friends. Game plan is simply play planeswalkers, create tokens, use proliferate to do messed up things with planeswalkers and counters. Ickermoon Gauntlet is unfortunately the target of tutors that can target it. Planeswalker statistics. Numbers that I don't care about because I'm a hating bitch and it's about planeswalkers. So Xavier, you can remove a counter to populate, which lets you make a token that's a copy of a creature token, or you can sack a creature to proliferate. I imagine we're probably doing the second. We have an alternate win con. We have card that makes me yell go f yourself. Card that makes me yell go f yourself. Wow, really doubling down on cards that make me yell go f yourself. Interesting. Infect 2. Wow, this is Do you like get paid by the slur people call you, Jarther? But is there any chance that you have some type of minimum wage job in which you are given maybe $5 or $10 anytime somebody creates a brand new insult just to describe you? So we have Insidious Roots. Are things leaving our graveyard, or did we just see that it involved 1/1 counters and said yeah? So finally, the first half of Xavier Sal becomes relevant so that we can get additional perma counter spells. Okay, board control, doubling season, f that guy. See, the thing is, infect is based, but only when it's used against these people. So we have more control, tutor, token makers, oh my god. So I presume this is just like make chump blockers that then get sacrificed to proliferate. What is this curve? 3 mana. Dude, I hope you get killed by a Finn the Fangbearer deck. Every day that passes, I'm gonna hope to God that you wake up and Finn the Fangbearer is just at the foot of your bed. The worst part is the card that I like the most in the deck is Blighted Agent, because that is the only card in the deck that does not scream to me, my win condition is something happens. I'm going to do the playtest. There is no goddamn way you are getting me to read all of these different Planeswalker abilities because I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. And it looks like if you're leaning into extra turns, you are exactly the villain I imagine you to be. But I despise Planeswalker decks because they have no fucking plan other than I get paid more than you because my dad worked at Wizards. Draw, we do not have a turn 1 play. We will case. We get a 2/1. Where in the hey, you know what? He's a bird now. Skeleton bird. All right, we have Xavier Sal. We have 38 life, but who cares? Nobody's counting. So we have a land we can sacrifice. So play this, play Kazmina. We're gonna down tick to 3, but then we're going to be, so we're gonna get a 2/2 wizard. We don't have 2 green, good. You don't fucking deserve it. We play Kiora. Untap up to 1 target creature and one. Oh my god, I hate you, dude. I hate you so much. I agree with Whitebread. I hope every day you wake up to Rurik Thar removing a new tooth from you. So what we get to do now is tap, sack, proliferate. Uptick. Untap, untap. Tap, sack, proliferate. Alt. We now have an emblem that says, when I touch you, you fucking die. Then we would go down to, and we would get that wizard back. But as Amber points out, we're going into turn 7 with the boldest board state we have ever had is a 3/3 and 2 2/2s. And now we're going into, well, Case also finds Intruder Alarm, in which case we don't have Vraska. And I don't think we didn't have the facilities to make Intruder Alarm do anything crazy with the thing we had. Oh, we used the case already. We used the case to get that Vraska Spellbreaker. So we don't have, I just didn't remove it because I'm dumb and I don't know how cases work. So now we start Garuking, and we definitely make a beast because now we just need, hey, I need enough creatures to touch you once. Wait, so how do you protect the Planeswalkers? Darnassus raw fucking optimism. Everyone's hating on Case of the Stash Skeleton. I think this card is hot. Not in general. In general, this is musty bullshit. In the context of this deck, extremely good card. Extremely good pickup. Makes you a body to sacrifice with your commander and has immediate synergy with your commander to do the important thing. So y'all can hate on the general quality of Case of the Stash Skeleton all you want. The point of commander is to take dog cards and make them good. And in a deck that is otherwise devoted to taking cards that are already too fucking good and dirtling with them until my head explodes, I am going to honor their individual case, get it, of using a card that is bad. Oh, I can't do this because I will not let you cook. I will never let you cook. This is art. This is the Vitruvian Man of Planeswalker decks, and I fucking hate to say it because I hate Planeswalker decks so much. But every single Super Friends deck in the world should aspire to be this Planeswalker deck.